Geno Auriemma is back at it again, finding ways to talk trash about Caitlin Clark, finding ways to ignore what's happening in the WNBA, finding ways to make excuses for why people treat her like shit. This is what Geno Auriemma has done for quite some time. He's the same guy that said that she would have a rude awakening in the WNBA and then proceeded to dominate the league with numbers never seen before by a rookie or even for her position of averaging 19 and 8, never done before in the WNBA. She did that as a rookie, and so he had so much to say about her, and none of it was really positive. And here we go again, Gino Auriemma back on the mic on the Richard Deesh podcast, and we'll talk about what he had to say about her right here, right now. Welcome back, everyone, to Indiana Fever Unfiltered, powered by Come On Now, the podcast. I'm your host, Rudy Rodriguez. Showmont. Hit that like button, subscribe, hype the video, comment, let me know your thoughts. Jump on our merch site, man. Don't hesitate. Don't wait. Jump on our merch site. Go to comeonnowpodcast.com, click merch. Go grab your merch, man. Support the site, man. I do appreciate you. Support the podcast. It's greatly appreciated. And there's tons of merch on there for you to grab. So go get it. Anyhow, let's jump right on in this thing. Gino Auriemma, who has had a history of talking trash about Caitlin Clark or trying to dismiss Caitlin Clark. Well, this is what we got here from Gino today, mentioned in this ESPN article. So it says here he weighed in on Caitlin Clark, saying that on court confrontations involving the Indiana Fever star should not be viewed as a referendum on America. Okay. He emphasized that he doesn't blame Clark for the attention she receives and noted that Clark's fan base is responsible for much of the conversation. Really? Yeah. I mean, I would think that her fan base is part of it, is a large part of it. But of course, you should blame Caitlin Clark. Absolutely blame Caitlin Clark. Her greatness is why we're watching. So it's absolutely her fault. 100%. It's her fault because we're watching because she's so great. And you, Gino, refuse still to this day to acknowledge her greatness. You failed when you could have recruited her. You didn't. And she busted your ass in the Final Four, beats your beloved Paige. But this is how Gino Auriemma once again diminishes, devalues, tries to dismiss the fans that watch Caitlin Clark. He says, because the bandwagon and the fandom became so obsessed with the whole thing, it turned into a cause. Really? Okay. Interesting. Clark became the reason why white players get beat up in the WNBA, and she became the reason why black players don't get the endorsements and don't get the adulation that white players get. Not every foul is a good foul. Not every foul is a bad foul. But there are fouls that are flagrant, but that's all they are. They are not a referendum on America, which is what the whole goddamn thing has become. Well, Gino, I guess there you kind of did say something nice about Caitlin for a second by not blaming her for why the black players don't get endorsements. White players don't get beat up in the WNBA. And that's what he's. I don't know. White players do not get beat up in the WNBA. Caitlin Clark gets beat up in the WNBA. Kelsey Plum does not get beat up in the WNBA. Marina Mabrey does not get beat up in the WNBA. Can we go down the list? Elena Delle Donne did not get beat up in the WNBA. Sue Bird did not get beat up in the WNBA. Courtney Vandersloot does not get beat up. Sabrina does not get beat up. Paige does not get beat up. But Caitlin Clark, sure as shit, gets beat up in the WNBA by people that don't like her. So This goes obviously back to the Alyssa Thomas foul, for which she got a 1-game suspension, which should have been more, as I've said before. Thomas called the play a complete accident, yet still, to date, has never apologized publicly or privately, because had she apologized privately, well, Caitlin probably would have said something. Stephanie White complained about how the calls on Caitlin she's officiated in a different way, but then at the same time, then a couple days later, basically defended Alyssa Thomas. She sure did. Auriemma says that every first round pick gets fouled hard. Not accurate. Again, not accurate. Does he just? Oh God! This is what's so annoying. Someone who's supposed to be knowledgeable and have real knowledge of this game refuses to acknowledge that there's a problem. He never will acknowledge the problem, because when you acknowledge the problem, you have to address the elephant in the room, which is Black LGBTQ do not like Caitlin Clark. There's a jealousy of Caitlin Clark that exists, that has been in this league now for 2.5 years. And I'll bring us back to the Chiney Ogwumike video that I made, where she mentioned about how when she was younger, she wanted to go at Lisa Leslie, blase. Well, that's cute and all, or whoever. But that was when you were a rookie. Caitlin Clark's is in her 3rd season, and they're still dealing with her the way they dealt with her as a rookie. So she hasn't even earned the respect to not get hammered every time. She hasn't even earned the respect from the officials as a star player in the league. Because this goal of this league is to just keep her down as long as they can, hoping, praying that people really start to like the league and not care so much about her, but that's never going to happen. That's never going to happen, because the day she leaves is the day that probably some millions of fans walk away from it too, because the actual product quality is not any better. He cites Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Tiger Woods are famous athletes that Clark is compared to by her fans. It's the whole shitstorm. That this is Jesus coming down to save the WNBA. Well, she has. See, that's where you acknowledge it. Just acknowledge it. She has. The same way Magic and Larry saved the NBA, which was a shit show. The same way Tiger made golf matter. Nobody watched golf. Tiger shows up, now everybody watched golf. Tiger leaves and nobody watches golf again. Tiger can show up at 60 and people will turn that shit on to watch Tiger Woods play. This was not something, she says, now I hope people listening can differentiate here. She never stood up and said, I'm Jesus and I'm coming. No, she didn't say that. She did not. But what she also did was she actually showed up and showed out and performed and brought millions of fans with her because they love her that much. And it's not her fault that fans don't love the other players the same. It's not her fault. Maybe if she was a lesbian woman, they wouldn't have attached themselves to her as much, because middle America, Midwestern folks don't really ride for that. They don't. He says this was not something created by her. It was created about her by all the people in America who are delusional. Of course, we're delusional that think one player who's not Wemby is going to come in and transform the league. Geno, Wemby just lost in the finals, bro. Wemby has not transformed the NBA. See, that's just stupid. The NBA is a built product. The product can look like shit. And if you get the right matchups, well, the ratings are still going to be crazy good. I.e., the league ain't that good, yet the Knicks show up. The Knicks make the finals. They have the highest rated finals since 1998. And I think top 9 all time. Top 9 all time, but the highest since 1998. So you get the right matchups, the people will watch. If Caitlin Clark's not part of the matchup in the WNBA, people ain't watching. Like, we're not delusional. You're the delusional one who won't accept the reality that Caitlin Clark drew 18.6 million in the finals. And y'all finals in women's college basketball, well, they're half that without her. What were the ratings this year of South Carolina versus UCLA TV ratings? 9.9 million. Caitlin Clark did 18.6. I mean, she doubled it, or damn near doubled it. You will never see those ratings again in college women's basketball, Geno. Now Clark has admitted that she's frustrated over the level of attention. When I turned the TV on Sunday, that game was on Wednesday. Yeah, we already know about this. So he did acknowledge that some WNBA players harbor personal animosities towards Clark. I do think there are some personal animosities in that league where people are going to take a shot at her unfairly. No question about it. But yes, it shouldn't be a national referendum. Actually, it should. And yes, there are players in that league that would love to kick her ass every minute of every day. Yes, why do you want to kick her ass? See, that's the thing. You're saying that you think there's personal animosities. What in the world could Alyssa Thomas and DeWanna Bonner have against Caitlin Clark on a personal level? They never played in college. These are grown-ass women. Caitlin Clark's still a young kid. Why would they have personal animosities? Why would Dejanay Carrington have a personal animosity with Caitlin Clark other than just have one? How about Kennedy Carter? Why would she have had one? I get why Angel Reese might have had one or has one. But why would players that were already in the league for years, like Asia Wilson, have personal animosities with Caitlin Clark? Because people want to watch her play basketball? That's what you're telling me. Because they have these built-in personal animosities of jealousy and hatred, they're going to take shots at her and want to kick her ass every day. Is that what it is? Because she has attention and you don't, you want to fuck her up. Oh, I got it. See, this is the logic for which Geno thinks. And instead of saying this is a big problem, it's like, it's unfair, but so be it. It is what it is. And you're still not acknowledging why they don't like her. They don't like her because she's a white girl who's better than them at basketball. That's just what it is. And that's why they can never move forward, because they'll never admit the actual truth. She's a white girl who's better than them in basketball. It's just that simple. Leave y'all thoughts in the comments. Like the video, subscribe, hype the channel. I do appreciate y'all. This is Indiana Fever Unfiltered, powered by Come On Now, the podcast. Come on now.